A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a dramatic escalation of tensions between the Trump administration and Harvard University, the government has announced plans to retract the remaining $100 million in federal funding allocated to the Ivy League institution. This move is perceived as a culmination of a series of attacks by President Trump against Harvard, which he has accused of fostering a culture of anti-Semitism on campus. The implications of this decision extend beyond financial ramifications. They raise critical questions about government overreach in education and the protection of civil liberties. In a recent episode of the Reason Roundtable, hosts Catherine Mangelward, Nick Gillespie, and Matt Welch, alongside Mike Pesca, delved into the multifaceted issues surrounding this conflict. The conversation illuminated how the Trump administration's actions could be seen as a punitive measure against perceived enemies, utilizing the power of the state to impose its will on educational institutions. The government is out of business with Harvard University, fully, stated a senior administration official, underscoring the administration's firm stance against the university. Critics argue that this move represents a dangerous precedent for government interference in academia, potentially stifling free speech and academic freedom. The panelists discussed whether the proposed taxes on endowments could be a viable solution or merely a further extension of governmental control over educational institutions. Trump's suggestion to redirect Harvard's funding to trade schools instead has sparked debate about the value placed on traditional higher education versus vocational training. The conversation took a turn towards the controversial topic of Trump's memecoin, raising concerns about corruption and the ethical implications of intertwining personal financial ventures with public service. As the discussion unfolded, listeners were prompted to consider the broader implications of these policies on the future of education and civil liberties in America. The panelists also addressed listener questions about the potential impacts of drastically cutting federal discretionary spending and whether such measures would genuinely reduce the size of government. Additional topics included the U.S. Mint's final order of pennies and whether certain federal institutions, such as the Institute for Peace and the Selective Service, should be eliminated altogether. The episode concluded with cultural recommendations, offering listeners a glimpse into the diverse perspectives surrounding these pressing issues. As the Trump administration continues its campaign against Harvard, the implications of this conflict extend far beyond the university itself, raising critical questions about the role of government in education and the protection of individual rights in a rapidly changing political landscape. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.